Hi everybody, welcome back to Jaffa Cooks, and today I'm going to make a traditional Turkish bread called bazlama. It's a bread that is used over numerous dishes. You can use it with hummus. I'm making it especially for my mates tomorrow who are coming over to watch a footy. I'm not a footy man, but I'm usually an entertaining person. So tomorrow I'm making doner kebab, so I'll entertain with the food. They're going to watch the footy. But at the same time, I thought instead of buying the bread from outside, why not give the homemade bread a go? So I'm making bazlama. Before I start, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so. Click on the bell icon, get the latest updates, find out what I'm up to. And thank you very much for all those comments and those requests that you're coming in. I will get to them, just I need some more time. So before I start, it's a simple recipe that just needs some flour, yeast, sugar, salt, some warm water, milk, and that's about it really. Some resting time, some TLC, and before you know it, you'll have a beautiful, lovely Turkish bazlama. When you're making bread, there's always something that you need to know is keep the salt and the flour away from the sugar and the yeast. The yeast basically hates the salt, and the sugar is an enabler for it to start reacting. You'll see that I've got no metal bowls or anything to do with metal. Metal doesn't go well with yeast as well, so I try to keep that away. So before I start, I'm going to take the yeast and I'm going to mix the sugar and the yeast together. I've also got some warm water. When I mean by warm, I mean warm. If it's too hot, it'll kill the yeast. So do ensure that it's not too hot. It should be warm enough to just basically put your finger in and take it out without having to burn yourself. So I'm just going to leave this yeast, just give it a quick mix. I'm going to take the salt, bit of housekeeping there, and I'll mix the salt in really nicely to make sure there's an even distribution there. One of the things that you can really help yourself when you're making bread is sieve the flour. That really does bring the flour and air the flour as well. I'm going to give it 5-6 minutes, wait for the yeast to react, foam up, and then I'll come back and see you in a short while. Welcome back everybody. It's been a good 5-6 minutes now, and if I look at my yeast, it looks perfectly. It's bubbling away. Okay, so I'm just going to take a spatula and take everything out of this. So I'm going to give it a quick mix. I'm going to try and get all the mixture in and get it ready for kneading. So I'll see you back in a few minutes. Okay, welcome back everybody. So my dough, I pulled my dough together so it looks more like a rough mixture. So now I'm going to take it out, and don't wash the bowl, keep it to one side. We'll need that bit later on. So all I'm going to do now is just knead it. And the kneading process will basically allow us to soften the dough and allow the gluten to be released. Give it a good 5 minutes kneading, I'd say good. Welcome back everybody. So I've been kneading my dough for about a good 5 minutes. The final part of this is, before we get it ready, is to basically just take some olive oil in the same glass bowl and then just pop it in there. So we'll let it rest for about an hour, and when it comes back, it'll be at least double its size. So before I leave you, I'm just going to take a damp cloth, and then I'm going to place it on top and store it in a warmer area of my kitchen. Right, so my damp cloth goes on top of my bowl, and that's really basically it. You need to make sure it's there for about an hour, and I'll come back and show you how far it's risen and what to do next for our bazlama bread. See you shortly. Welcome back everybody. So my dough has been resting for about an hour, and you can see that it's, if not more than doubled in size. And you can smell the yeast as well. It smells like a bakery in here. Right, so what I'm going to do now is just remove this. And what we want to do is basically portion out the sizes. I'm going to make around about six bazlama. So eyeballing it right in the middle, I'm just going to make 6 dough balls. So I'm just going to literally just roll it between my hands. That's it, just so that it becomes a round shape. Again, same with this one. So my dough balls are done. To make them rest, I'm going to cover them with the same damp cloth. Yep, still damp. And I'll see you in about 10 odd minutes. Bye for now. Welcome back everybody. So my dough balls have been rested for a while. Just to give you a quick view of what they look like. Quite puffed up, there's lots of air in it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take them and just show you what to do next. And there's a lot of air in there. I don't want to lose that air. So I'm not going to press it down. I'm just going to take a rolling pin, slightly floured, and then just around about 6 to 7 inches lightly, just roll it out so that we can get around about a 6 to 7 inch spread. Right, so I'm going to move over to the hob, and I've got a pan on the hob, low heat, and I'm going to now cook this over on the pan for about 3 minutes each side, and I'll see you over. When this is in the pan, I'd cook this for 3 minutes. Don't touch it, let it evenly cook. After 2 minutes, it depends on your heat. I've got mine on low heat. After a couple of minutes, you may just want to have a look underneath the base that's on the pan, just to see how well or under it's cooked. Should have a light golden color to it. So I'll come back and show you in a couple of minutes what it looks like before I turn it over. So it's been a couple of minutes. I'm just going to have a quick peek at it. Yeah, perfect. I'm just going to now quickly turn it over. Now, it's not 100% cooked because you can still see 1 or 2 areas where it's still a bit raw. But what we want to do is cook the other side for a couple of more minutes, and then we'll cook it again 1 minute each side. Right, it's been a couple of minutes. Let's have a quick look. Oh, perfect. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. So what I'm going to do now is another minute each side, and that should cook off the edges and basically each side off to be evenly cooked.